I think it's weird that I have all of the Shantae games, but I only ever played one, Shantae Half Genie Hero. I like the character and I like the setting and everything about the franchise, but I look at the older games in my collection and for some reason can't muster the energy to play them. Even with this game, it took me longer to even consider purchasing it, but I also didn't know of its existence until I saw a review on it. This is going to be a more off-the-cuff type of review. I didn't record much game, but I did beat the game in about 7 hours. It does look like Half Genie Hero. In fact, a bunch of the sprites are reused for this, and instead of 3D environments on a 2D plane, everything is 2D except for a few things like plants that you could bring back to life. At least I think that they're 3D. They look like they are, but they could be 2D. They just did it really well. There's cutscenes that are done by Studio Trigger, and how they're implemented reminds me of the PlayStation, Saturn, PC versions of Mega Man X3, where the bosses had an animated introduction. They're a very nice touch, and I always enjoyed seeing them. Unlike Half Genie Hero, which had a hub-based system where you get to choose which level you want to go to, in Seven Sirens, it's a full-blown Metroidvania game, which I wasn't expecting and wasn't really in the mood for, because I was not looking forward to having to do all the backtracking that I was about to do. They did really well with this Metroid style of gameplay. You're told to go to like 2 areas, and then the game lets go of your hand and tells you to go play. I did look up a guide a few times because I was absolutely lost, especially one time because I had shut the game off and forgot the information I was told that I needed in order to progress. Most of the time, though, I progressed accidentally, because I went the way the game wanted me to go, instead of the way that I thought I needed to go. Basically, I thought I had to go up, but I ended up going down, which was actually the correct way to go. There's the main world, which is very much Metroid-styled, and then there's the labyrinths that are used to find the kidnapped half-genies, and then you find the boss room. The formula for this is that you rescue a half-genie, you get a new transformation from that genie that you rescued, then you use that transformation to go find and beat the boss, then you have to go and find a fusion gemstone from someone, then you get a new magic ability from the half-genie you just saved. In all honesty, that just feels like padding, because you can't progress unless you get that magical ability. Shantae does get the ability to transform in like most of her games, and while they're different transformations here, they still serve the same purpose as Half Genie Hero. But you don't have to dance to transform, instead it's a button press, like right trigger to use the newt form to dash and cling the walls, or you hold the attack button to use a turtle, and this is a massive improvement and allows for a lot more natural platforming. In fact, I hope the next Shantae game keeps this transformation mechanic. The dances are regulated to magic powers that you get from the other half genies. You can see hidden objects, you get to restore health along with reviving dead plants and killing undead enemies, a lightning attack that will power things and damages enemies, and then there's an earthquake that will move things and damages enemies not in the air. And you really won't use these until like the last 2 hours of the game where they become vital to doing certain things. As for difficulty, the game is stupidly, almost insultingly easy. It throws money and health restorative items at you by the boatload. And by the end of the game, you're going to have all the upgrades from the game's 3 item shops. In fact, it got to the point where it was so easy, I just started running past or even through some enemies. Because all I needed to do was keep an eye on my hearts, and when they got low, eat something, and then keep going. And when they were easy to kill enemies, I just dashed through them, picked up the items that I needed, and just kept going. I only got to game over once, and that was the first boss because I wasn't paying attention to its telegraphs. And I did have a really smooth playthrough too. The game never crashed, it didn't run into any bugs, I didn't come across any problems. The story is alright, it's about on par with Half Genie Hero, but the ending does sequel bait just like Half Genie Hero did because they mentioned Shantae's mother. Clearly they're setting up lore for a future game. And there's going to be another game. Shantae is WayForward's baby and they're not going to let it die. And one last thing, the music is actually really good in this. I really did like how some areas have this 8-bit, maybe Game Boy-ish type of style to it. Reminds me of playing Shantae on the Game Boy Advance. Well, on the 3DS, because I have the digital version. That game needs a remake too. They need to remake the first Shantae, because it is not an easy game to get a hold of. I think the only way to get it now legitimately is from the 3DS store, because actual physical copies of that game go for quite a pretty penny. Also, I'm going to experiment with this style of video for a bit. Maybe I might be able to get more videos out. It's just a matter of I don't have the time nowadays to do what I usually do. Set up the green screen, get in front of the camera, put pants on, that sort of thing. So I might just kind of do this weird little here's an impressions type of video for my reviews. Who knows? I'm going to play around with it. We'll see. I do want to review Ghost of Tsushima. Tsushima? I don't know what it's called. The game on PlayStation 4 by Sucker Punch, that one. Although, I don't think I'm going to review that for a while because I'm flat broke.